So if you're looking at a key signature, how can you tell what key it is that you're looking at? Well, lucky for you, I've got this handy flowchart. How to find the key in 3 easy steps. If you'd like a free PDF of this flowchart, the link is in the description below. Step number 1. Does the key signature have accidentals? That is to say, sharps or flats. If not, congratulations, you have found either C major or A minor. You may proceed to step 3. But if the answer is yes, step 2. Are those accidentals sharps or flats? If the answer is both, I'll have a much more difficult time explaining it to you. But assuming that it's one or the other, which in the large majority of cases it's going to be, here's the protocol for sharps. The last sharp, or the furthest sharp to the right, is the 7th scale degree, or the leading tone of the major scale. Determine the pitch of that leading tone and count up 1/2 step to tonic. So here we have 5 sharps, and the furthest one to the right is A sharp. We'll count up 1/2 step to find B. So that tells me that this key signature belongs to B major. That means that this piece is either going to be in B major or G sharp minor. We'll talk more about which one it is in step 3. But for now, this method will work for every single key that has sharps. The sharps are always in the same order, and that order is F, C, G, D, E, A, B. Or as I like to remember it, funky cows get down at every barn. If there's only one sharp, that one sharp is going to be F sharp. If there are 4 sharps, those 4 sharps are going to be F, C, G, and D. The flats are also always in the same order, and it's the exact reverse order of the sharps. B, E, A, D, G, C, and F. Which would make the mnemonic device that I just told you, barn at every down, get cows funky. And that's only correct in the least helpful way possible. Let's see. What about beginning every autumn, dogs get cold feet? I've never used that one before this very moment, but I kind of like it. It seems catchy enough to work. There are 2 different methods for finding the key if your key signature has flats. Method number 1. The next to the last flat, or the second one to the right, is the major key. So here we have 4 flats, B, E, A, and D. The second one to the right would be A, and so this is A flat major. This method will work for all of the keys that have flats except for F, which only has 1 flat, so there can't be a second to last flat. Which you could just go ahead and memorize that one piece of information, which let me go ahead and say parenthetically that if you stare at all of these key signatures long enough, you will have them memorized and you won't need this flowchart. But there is a second method that will help you figure out all of the flat keys, but it does take a little bit more work. You can take the last flat, the furthest flat to the right, and that is the 4th scale degree of the major scale, or Fa if you prefer solfege. You can count down to the tonic from there, or in other words, the tonic is a perfect 4th below the last flat. Here's a key with 2 flats. The last flat, the one furthest to the right, is E flat, and that would be a perfect 4th above the tonic, and therefore, this is B flat major. Step 3. Now that we have narrowed it down to 2 possibilities, how do we figure out if it's in a major or minor key? This one is a little bit more ambiguous than the first 2 steps. We need to observe the melody and the harmony. Often, very often, the piece will start and end on tonic, and if that's a minor chord, then there's a good chance that we're in a minor key. Adversely, if it starts on a major chord, we're probably in a major key. This isn't always the case though. You can start your piece on any chord. You don't have to start on tonic. So we can always observe the other chords that are surrounding it. In the key of G major, we're more likely to see chords like G, C, and D, and probably some E minors. But if we're in E minor, we're more likely to see chords like A minor and B minor, or B major if we're in a harmonic minor. This is certainly ambiguous and can lead to a good old-fashioned theory debate, so just use your best judgment. And one other thing that might give it away, if we're in a harmonic minor key, then you'll see the leading tone written as an accidental. So in E minor, this would mean the presence of D sharp. So there you go. We successfully found the key. That was fun, right? Maybe you're still wondering, why is C major the key that has no sharps or flats? Then you should watch this video about how all of the notes got their names.